Hey, what is up, my ASMR and fragrance family? It is your boy, your whispering perfume pimp. Well, your soft-spoken perfume pimp, Christopher Cologne, and I am back with another video. So, what I have today is just a soft-spoken ramble. But before I really get into this, let me just say, I'm not trying to give medical advice. I'm not trying to be a doctor. Even though I think I probably should have went to school to be a doctor and everything, because from what I've experienced, we need more open-minded doctors, and I would be one. So, but yeah, I'm not trying to give medical advice or anything. This is just a ramble of my thoughts because of my experiences and things I've read and all this and that. So don't think I'm trying to be a know-it-all, because I damn sure don't know it all, just like none of us know it all, even the smartest people, when they really start digging into stuff, they barely scathed the surface. So yeah, we've barely scathed the surface of medical, the human body, all science, all kinds of stuff, So, I just figured I'd get that out the way. Yeah, so I'm gonna have my surgery tomorrow. My surgery tomorrow is at 11:05. Today is the day after Christmas. For those that don't watch it on the day after Christmas, today is the day after Christmas, and my surgery is tomorrow. So it's on the 27th. I'm getting my gallbladder taken out. I'm not really too fond of being put to sleep and having a piece of me chopped out, especially when I don't know how much of my problems this is going to, how much of my symptoms this is going to calm down, because I have Chiari, so my brain doesn't sit correctly. My cerebellum is herniated 3 to 5 millimeters. That's what they say in my spinal column from MRI. Now the rest of my brain is good. The words they use, the rest of my brain is impeccable, which is crazy because my memory is shit. So, and I can't remember the majority of my life or anything. So, like I have people, and memory is weird. We can get into this on another video, because it's weird. I can't remember the majority of my life, but I can remember stuff I shouldn't even remember, in like little bullshit conversations or whatever. But, yeah, so I have Chiari. Cerebellum's herniated 3 to 5 millimeters. Rest of my brain, they say, is impeccable. Now, on a scan, on an MRI scan, it could see one thing, but it can't see everything. So my cerebellum could actually be worse. It could be herniated worse than what it is. I have something called a syringomyelia, which is really just a cyst, and that's in between my shoulder blades. So, I don't remember how big or small that one is, but that can cause a lot of complications too. But yeah, so Chiari is where your cerebellum, or is where your brain isn't sitting fully, and there's different types of Chiari, but your brain is too big for your skull, or your skull is too small for your brain, but it crowds it doesn't leave enough room for the cerebral fluid to flow properly. So it causes problems with the flow of the cerebral fluid, which is the spinal fluid and everything, and that's what causes or can cause a syringomyelia. So that's one of the things that can cause it. But yeah, considering that does that, and it puts pressure on the brainstem, which you have 12 cranial nerves that come from the brainstem, and one of the nerves is is the vasovagal nerve, or they call it the vagus nerve for short, VAGUS. So, but the vagus nerve controls your heart rate, it controls your breathing, it controls your digestion and everything. So, yeah, a lot of different things come into play with the vagus nerve. And if the vagus nerve if pressure is being put on the brainstem, which an MRI can't always see, because MRIs don't always see everything. People have gotten chopped open and it's been way worse than what the MRI was showing. But anyway, what I'm saying all this for is because I'm hoping the Chiari is not what's causing the issues that I have with my heart, doing crazy stuff, my digestive system going all the shit. I'm hoping this is my gallbladder. So, and my gallbladder's overactive, and it's got stones in it. So, but an overactive gallbladder, they say, from what the doctors have told me, they said they used to think an overactive gallbladder wasn't any problem, but now they realize that it's just as bad, if not worse, than an underactive gallbladder. Now, what causes an overactive gallbladder is CCK hormone production, or having too many receptors for CCK hormone. Now, I'm not going to say the whole word for CCK. You can look it up, but because that's what it's called, CCK hormone. But the full name, I can't remember. I can't ever pronounce it, so I'm gonna butcher it anyway. But yeah, so that's what is, they say, from what I've read, causes your gallbladder to be overactive, because it causes it to contract. Now, from what I've read on CCK hormone, it can cause anxiety, and all kinds of other stuff, but it also causes your pancreas. It causes it to produce enzymes. CCK hormone is what kicks in your peristaltic movement, peristaltic, however you pronounce it, to where your intestines and everything move and stuff like that. So, and that's what works the food through. But yeah, so I went ahead and looked it up, just peristalsis. So peristalsis. But yeah, so, but CCK hormone also, so it's affecting your vasovagal nerves. But like this right here, what it says right above where it's talking about peristalsis, it says it also suppresses your appetite. So that's what causes the satiety and causes you to feel satiated, and which is a fullness. So that's what causes you to like to stop eating and everything. But yeah, it says it also suppresses your appetite while you are digesting by making your stomach feel physically full, and by activating the vagal nerves in your stomach wall. So yeah, because your vagus nerves come down. So, but yeah. And it says, in the brain and central nervous system, CCK hormone appears to play a role in anxiety and panic disorders. Studies have shown that elevated levels of cholecystokinin, CCK, in the brain increase anxiety. So CCK has also been reported to have a role in thermoregulation. It is reported to mediate fever when injected in the brain, and hypothermia when injected peripherally. Y'all know the word I'm trying to say. I don't know why it's not coming out of my mouth. But more studies are needed to explore this. But that's just, that's just one thing. So I'm hoping, After they take the gallbladder out, it straightens things out. But if I am having an overproduction of CCK hormone, then, and that's, that plays a role with the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve plays a role in controlling the heart rate and the breathing and everything, then I'm wondering if if that is the real problem. What problems am I still going to have after the surgery? Or or if I'm even going to have any. But I just know, like, with my heart doing crazy stuff and all the other stuff that I've had go on, because I haven't even told y'all all my symptoms, but all the different stuff I've had go on over the years, and the fact that I can't do what I used to love to do anymore. It just, I don't know, it strips things away mentally. I was always a physical person, even after getting hit by the car. I got hit by the car, they told me I wasn't going to walk. I went to walking, in 6 weeks I was up attempting to walk. Told me I wasn't even going to attempt to walk for a year and a half. So I was back on a bicycle that summer, and I was hit in February of 97. But, yeah, so I'm just, and then in 2008, in the middle of a workout, that's when I started having, like, autonomic dysfunctions. Like, my autonomic nervous system is just haywire. So, like, and that's, if you read into POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, that's autonomic dysfunction and everything, or dysautonomia, better yet. So, but yeah, I have things go on with me, like I have some kind of dysautonomia going on, and I want that type of shit to be gone. But, considering your gallbladder, because they're finding out more and more the connection between your stomach and your heart, which I don't know why they're just now finding this stuff out. I mean, it's like when you look at the makeup of the human body, it's like, how can you not figure this stuff out? How did it take so long? That's like, it's one reason why I have a problem with the medical industry, because and so many doctors try to act like they know everything. Oh no, this don't cause this, that don't cause that. And when it's some more complex, when studies have been done on the person, and different tests and everything have been done, not necessarily studies, but different tests over and over have been done on the person, and everything keeps coming back good, so it's just like, it's just like we have barely scathed the freaking surface. So all these doctors and so-called medical professionals and everything that have this godlike complex, like, oh, I'm a doctor, I've chopped into the body, I've done this, I've done that, I know everything, and then they throw it off on you that all you have is anxiety. And it's just like, nah, man, you don't get it. Anxiety is the symptom of what the hell is going on, of what the hell is wrong. You gotta find what the hell is wrong. Damn. Or what you're calling anxiety is just a symptom of what's going on. Now, I know that's not the case all the time, but I don't give a shit. That's like they kept telling me for years. Oh, it's just anxiety, it's just anxiety, it's just anxiety. And then I go see a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist is like, that's not anxiety. You need to tell your neurologist this stuff. And I'm like, well, I already have. And then these neurologists, they tell me, oh, that ain't like the last ones I seen. They were like, the Chiari don't cause that, that don't cause that. That sounds like a heart problem. And all the freaking heart doctors I've seen, they're like, your heart's good, it's strong, you don't have a problem with your heart. I know I don't have a problem with my heart. There's something else going on, and that's what these doctors don't want to damn. That's what they don't want to listen to. They want to just throw you off as you have anxiety. And like, they'll try to say it's your weight. I had a doctor one time, whenever in the first couple of years all this stuff was happening to me, she was like, oh, it's your weight. It's your weight and you're out of shape. I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, why did all this stuff start in the middle of a workout when I was working out 3 to 4 hours almost every day? Nothing. Couldn't answer. So, and I've gotten shit like this over and over and over. And it's barely ever you get a doctor. Whenever you have complex issues going on, it's barely ever. And I know this because I'm part of different groups and everything, and I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people say the same shit, that they have a hard time finding doctors that'll listen to them. So, but yeah, when you have shit going on like this, it's hard to find a doctor to listen. I'm kind of losing track of where I was going. But, let me go back. I hate when I do this. Yeah, let me pause it. Okay, so I did lose track of where I'm going with it all. But, yeah, like back to the anxiety. Sometimes it is anxiety, but I've had times where it was like I had a freaking stroke and I was perfectly calm, gave my girlfriend directions on what to do and everything while I'm sitting there slurring speech, dizzy, and all kinds of stuff. That's not anxiety. I'm sorry. That's not anxiety. Sounds hitting my ears and it sending a shot into my brain, into my head, and feeling like a whooshing feeling is not anxiety. Feeling a piece, like a part of my brain, jerk out of place and jerk back into place, which I know that's not what's happening, but that's just what it feels like sometimes. That's not anxiety. Me turning my head and my heart rate jumping sky high is not anxiety. Me sitting down, going from standing up to sitting down in a car and my heart rate jumping up to 180 and then going to the hospital and then my heart rate being 250 by the time they get me back there, and sticking a needle in my arm. And then when they stick the needle in my arm, my heart rate drops from 250 down to about 120. That is not anxiety. That's something going on with the nervous system. That's just like, I'm on crutches. Okay, while I'm on crutches right now, I've noticed in the past few times I've been on crutches, the more I use the crutches, it's like the worse my symptoms get. Now, I'm on them. I don't know if it's just the movement could be jarring me around or whatever and causing acid reflux, but I'm getting more acid reflux. Now, could that be just straight up acid reflux? Or could it be because my Chiari is right in here, my syringomyelia is in the middle of my shoulder blades, and whenever you're using crutches, all of this whole area is being worked. So if those nerves are crowded, what can happen? Look at the possibilities. So what if that is setting off the vagus nerve and causing things to go on with my stomach, and that's what's kicking up the stomach acid? There's a whole gamut of different things that it could be. But you gotta have an open mind when it comes to the human body, and that's what a lot of these doctors don't have when they run into something, So it's just, why can I not? That's like riding a bicycle. Why can I not get on a bicycle like I used to and take off and ride? I used to be able to get on a bicycle and ride as hard as I could. And then once everything started, I couldn't do it no more, which is crazy because I prefer riding a bicycle. I would rather ride a bicycle where I gotta go and everything, as long as it's not way too far. I like being in shape. I like physicality and everything. But yeah, so why is it I can't get on a bike anymore? And for like a year and a half, I quit smoking. I used to smoke weed. So, and then in 2008, when all this stuff started, I quit smoking weed. And then in 2010, me and my ex-wife split and everything. And I said, fuck it. And I started smoking weed again. Well, I realized after so long, when I smoked, I could do what I used to do. And it would keep my heart calm. So I got to the point where I started getting, whenever I'd ride to work, and this was after me and my ex-wife got back together for a little while, I'd get up in the morning, I'd take my shower and everything, I'd take a couple of hits off of my bowl, put my bowl, put it up and everything, put my book bag on, put my earbuds in, hop on my bicycle, and ride as hard as I could to work, and my heart would stay calm. Then at lunch, I got an hour lunch, I'd go ride my bike around at lunch, and this was after I shut my shop down and everything, because I had a detail shop too around the same time, or at the same time, when I worked at that place for a couple years. But at lunchtime, I'd go ride my bike around for an hour, my bicycle, and I'd do fine. But now on the way home, I got off at I think it was 5:30 then. I'd get off and I'd ride my bike home, and I'd notice on the way home, I could start feeling things affect me. Now the next morning, I'd get up, do the same thing, smoke, take a couple hits off a bowl, take off. So, but then out of nowhere, it quit working, and weed started making me more anxious and everything like that. So I quit, and then I started back a few years later, but it didn't have the same effects. But it started making me paranoid again, so I quit. But yeah, so, but anyway, I'm kind of nervous about this surgery, and I figured I'd just talk to y'all about different stuff, just ramble. But yeah, so if that ain't if that is anxiety, how in the hell does weed control that, so I think, like I said, it's more my Chiari and everything, because a lot of times when stuff hits me, it's like out of nowhere. I'm not doing anything. Now I know panic attacks can hit you and everything like that, but also, like what we read, CCK hormone can play a role in anxiety and panic attacks. So that's the whole thing. And proteins and stuff like that cause CCK hormone production. We could really get into that, but so like proteins and a few other things, amino acids and stuff like that, cause CCK hormone production. Now, that could be one reason why whenever I stop eating and I fast, it's like my symptoms don't bother me as bad. So if it is anxiety that's caused by CCK hormone production and everything, that could be it. Another thing, blood work doesn't show up everything all the time. That's why so many people can go so many years with thyroid problems, and it doesn't get diagnosed for so long, because the blood work isn't picking it up. Blood work doesn't pick up everything. So, and like I said earlier, I'm not trying to sound like a doctor, it's just there is common sense things. So, but yeah, like they've had me in the hospital before because for my foot, saying that it was infected. It was stunk like hell and everything, but there was no infection in my blood work. but I felt like total shit. I was sick from it and everything, but blood work wasn't picking anything up, so. But yeah, so I'm wondering, on top of everything, could my gallbladder be infected and it's just not picking it up? Because it's like I talked to somebody not too long ago. It was actually a nurse, her friend. He had an infected gallbladder. Blood work wasn't picking that up. So, but it finally ruptured, and I think it almost killed him because he had gangrene in it. So, but I figure, I'm wondering, could it be infected? And that's another thing, the reason why symptoms have gotten worse, because from what I've read too, your gallbladder given problems can also mimic and negatively affect, it can mimic neurological problems and cause neurological problems to get worse, which, when you really think about it, makes sense. So, but yeah, so I'm just kind of wondering, could it be that it's infected? I guess we'll know tomorrow, But, okay, y'all. So, I'm gonna get off here, and I've rambled enough and everything. I know some stuff probably didn't make sense because I do talk a lot and everything, and sometimes I lose track of where I'm going, which y'all seen I had to pause the video because I was losing track. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here and hopefully get the NFL picks video done, and I will talk to y'all later. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one, and peace, peace, peace.